Hello, everybody, and how is everybody out there? I hope everybody's doing fine. Wow, excuse me. So, today we're going to recreate a design that I did back in 2020, and I will put a picture up there. Maybe not right now. Allergy Central here today, I guess. All right, but I am going to put a picture up so that you can see what I did in 2020. Just remember, please, those were my natural nails. That was back when I was starting to really invest in nail art, and I was using just nail polish at the time, not gel or anything special, just nail polish. And I'm hoping that I can outdo myself. So that's what I always try and do anyway. Today we are going to use the Ad Favor Long Stilettos. And these I did get from Amazon. I am also going to retry the U Shining. I really don't know how to pronounce this. I mean, this is what it is. If everybody can see that, this is what it is. And this is pink. And I wanted to use the pink because the design that I'm going to do is more of a French tip. So that's what we're going to do today. So I am going to go ahead and use my dehydrator and primer. And I'm also going to use my Beautylex rubber base. And this is, see if you can see that number. This I did get off of AliExpress, and this is a nice colored one. I do have two different colors in this, as well as a clear. The other color is just a little darker than I want to use today. And it's way darker than this pink. So this is what we're going to do. Now, these Ad Favor tips that I got, they do have already a frosted part where your natural nail goes. So at least I don't have to worry about doing that, and that's kind of cool. So we're definitely going to try that out and see if these work really, really well. I did want to retry this because I realized that I put on a really thick layer of the primer, and I've noticed that if you put on a thick layer of the primer, that unfortunately it does leave a residue and your nails can peel off. So definitely be careful with that. I'm not real sure if that happens with all primers, but it does happen with the Macart. The Macart is still my favorite, and it still works really, really, really well. That bruise is finally coming off. It's finally healing out. And I realize also my nail beds are bad. But that's what happens when you're experimenting with your e-file. And I've actually taken off more nail bed than I really ever wanted to. So that's why they look the way that they do. I am getting better at it, but I'm also trying to even them out, and that's kind of killing my nails. But you know, that's okay. They do grow fast. I mean, you can kind of see where they've grown out quite a bit. You can also see where, yeah, I'm still getting myself. I don't know why I do, but I get myself with my natural nail beds where I really don't when it's the tip. You know, I don't take off too much when I've got the gel on there, and I really need to see what I'm doing wrong. So I'm going to really pay attention to that. For some reason, I seem to be more careful when I'm just going over the top, you know, of the gel versus... Now, if you look, I put on a pretty thick layer of it right there, and it's going to be shiny, and it's going to stay shiny for quite a while. And after it dries, can you see the residue? So I'm going to take that off because that's not what I wanted. I just really wanted to show you. So take that off, and I'm going to go in with a lighter coat. and you can see it's a little shiny right now, but it does dry out a little bit. I think that's what ended up happening. And I am going to try and keep these nails on for a couple of weeks because I'm trying to keep my nail beds where they're going to get healthier versus being as utterly ridiculously awful like they are right now. All right. And of course, I do let these dry a little bit because I don't want that residue. And if you don't let the primer dry on your nails, then sometimes you end up getting lifting. And while that's doing that, I wasn't all that careful with my cuticles, and I usually never am, because I do kind of graze my cuticles just a little bit when I'm e-filing the gel. And that way I can get whatever I missed with the clippers. All right, so I'm going to pop the rubber base on first. And this isn't really, you know, a very thick color. You can see it's very sheer. It's almost a jelly. So yeah, that's why I like this color. And you don't want a really thick layer. You know, just a base coat is fine. And I like using the rubber base as the base coat. It's what works with my nails. My nails are really oily, which unfortunately causes lifting, which is why I'm very careful about making sure that I do use my dehydrator and my primer. And I also make sure that I have well alcoholed my fingers prior to the dehydrator. I'm going to cook that for 60 seconds. Now, these nails are long. They're not as long as some of my other ones. I don't know why. I think all of the nail tip people, all the people who make nail tips, let me rephrase, need to get together and decide how long should be versus extra long and medium, because I've seen medium be as long, and I've seen long be as long as extra long. And I've seen from the same companies like Macart, their stiletto longs are actually shorter than the coffin longs, versus like a couple of them that I have where the stiletto longs are longer than the coffins. So I think these guys need to get together and kind of get a universal length going. But that's just my opinion. That's just because I do want to try these out, but I want them to be the same size. As a consumer, you know, when you're buying clothing, you never know which size is really going to fit you because they're always different. Unfortunately. And shoes too. Shoes can be, I mean, you get an 8 in one from one company and you get an 8 from a different company, and they're different sizes, and I don't understand why you can't just have the same size universally. All right, so cure that for 60 seconds. I do like this pink color, which is why I wanted to retry it. I just really wanted to, you know, get in here and do some really nice French tips, I am going to be using my Mayjam, this color that I really like, this nude, because it more matches what my nail beds look like. And it's sheer, so that's why I wanted to use a pink color underneath. And then this is going to be, well, more kind of a learning experience for me as well for this set. And that's mostly just because the last time I did them, when I did them in polish, it was actually really hard for me to do in polish because I was still experimenting with nail art. All right, so let's get a little bit of this. And I did go ahead and get all my sizes ready. And pop these on. And see how pretty that color is? I really like this color. I mean, some pinks are way too pink. And other pinks have like a peachy hue. And although I kind of have a peaches and cream complexion, I do have kind of an olivey tone to my complexion. So, yeah. All right. Let's get these suckers on. And like I've said before, you don't need to use too much of this stuff. It does work really well. If you use just enough. And my cheap ass is gonna, you know, continually put stuff back in the jar that doesn't get used. But that's my cheap ass. Honestly, I mean, you don't have to do that. And I am actually trying to go a little bit above where my nail ends with this. And that's really because I'm going to take the color all the way to my nail bed. Definitely not looking for like a deep smile line or anything like that with these. And if you get too much, you know, just take it off. And once you start using this stuff, you can usually tell if you've got way too much. I'm taking a little more than I usually do because I want to go past my nail bed. And you guys, it is very important when you're choosing the sizes of the tips to make sure that you're going sidewall to sidewall. Now, I have in the past made the mistake of not going all the way to the sidewall, and then you kind of have to take gel and fix it. Otherwise, it looks funny. This stuff is a little stickier than the Macart. pinky. They also don't seem to make the sizes, not just the length, but the width the same on these tips, unfortunately. So, you know, where I am a 9 on my pinky in some nails, I'm an 8 in others. Where I'm a 0 on my thumb, I'm a 1 on others. So, you know, it's really, really weird. It would be nice to, you know, just know your sizes and snag them. All right, make sure that these are all straight the way that I want them. I don't have any extra stuff peeking out on my skin that I don't want. Make sure that my cuticles are nice and flush, or as flush as I can get them. You can't always fix that with your e-filing. So it's not like imperative, but it's, ooh, that came up. It's a lot easier to do your filing if you've already got everything, you know, as perfect as you can get it. I understand, even being as OCD as I am, I understand it's not always going to be perfect. But you can still try, right? That's what I do anyway. Try and make it as perfect as possible. And I am going to have to cover that bruise because it's going to show through no matter what I do. Ugly old bruise. Alright, so now I'm going to cure these for a good 60 seconds. Alright, so I've got both of my hands done. I've got all my tips on. And I do always make sure that everything is, you know, the same size. I want it to be the same length on each finger. And then I did choose these particular tips because I kind of like the shape. They kind of go with what I'm going to do today. So I'm not going to do too much in the way of filing. Mostly what I am going to do is get this scratchy piece off where they broke the tips off of the mold piece. I don't want them too sharp, and I know that that's shocking for me because I usually like my tips really sharp. Make sure that, you know, I don't have anything peeking over where it shouldn't be. So I am using the 180 grit part of my nail file, and this is my Macart file from my Starry Night collection. If you guys missed the Black Friday sales or the Cyber Monday sales on Macart, they had some really good sales going on, and I'm sure that they'll still have some good sales going on up till Christmas. I mean, definitely treat yourself if you can. I personally made a decision to not purchase any more nail things until after Christmas because I'm trying to concentrate on everybody else instead of me. But they had some good sales on. And for all of those YouTubers that had ambassador codes for the Black Friday sales, I don't know if you still can, but for the Black Friday sales, you could do the 40% plus their 15% off, which, oh my god, that's huge, by the way. I was so tempted to get me a new nail drill, but I didn't. I was good. But I do really like the Macart brand. Now I do want to try like Melody Susie and the Poochies, and I know they still have sales going on. So definitely go check them out. And then Apres has been texting me daily about their sales, so check them out too. I do like the Prey products that I have, so definitely recommend those. And then I will tell you, I have so many products that we're going to be using more of those. So you're going to see more cat eye, more chrome, more of my pigments. I do have blooming gel and the watercolor gel, the watercolors that I do want to use. So we're going to do some experimenting with stuff that I purchased but have been somewhat afraid to, you know, try out. We're going to do it. Promise. So far I am liking these tips. They're not very thin. Now the tips I used the last time, I don't remember that name brand because honestly I can't even pronounce the name brand. But look back on my last, or the second to last video. Because last video I just cleaned off those nails and that's what I used. But definitely, those ones are good ones. Those are nice and thick. They are a little hard to file, but I think that's just because they're that thick. But I can appreciate that. I'm just going to make sure that these tips don't have any nice sharp edges. And instead of buffing my nails, I'm going to use my Gel-X Prep. But first, before I do that, let me get all of the dust off the top. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my e-file. And I realized that, you know, I got the dust off the top, and now I'm going to file a little bit. And I'm going to have to get the dust off the top again. Yeah. But I really just want to make sure that my cuticles are as flush as I can get them. I do like how these tips actually do fit my cuticles. That's kind of nice for me, considering my thumbs tend to be more square and the rest of my fingers are more round. I'm going backwards on my nails because I did not put this in reverse. You can see it still says forward. If you're left-handed, make sure that you're using the reverse when you're using your left hand and the forward when you're using your right hand. I honestly sometimes I'm more comfortable doing it this way. Don't ask me why. I can't even answer that. It's probably because I did have a nail drill that didn't have a reverse when I first started. There was no reverse on it. So I did have to learn how to do this without the reverse. And then just go hit my left hand real quick. And I have noticed recently that I'm not quite as careful with my dominant hand as I am with my non-dominant hand, so sometimes I make more of a mess. Isn't that ironic? And it might just be because I'm rushing and I'm more confident with my dominant hand, so I just rush through it. So I am going to clean up some of this gel that kind of peeked out over. And then on this particular finger, this nail bed was severely damaged when it was closed into a car door a while ago. So you can see my nail bed is longer on this one. So I do have to put my tip forward a little bit so I can make it the same size. That's the one thing that has always frustrated me about nail tips, just this particular finger. And I don't even know how I got it caught in the door. I'm a klutz, so I never know how I do some of the things that I do. But I did it to myself. And it took, I mean, that nail fell off, completely fell off. And it took months for it to grow back. But that was back when I was a vet tech and I wasn't growing my nails out. I was keeping them really short, so, you know, it wasn't that big a deal. But I had my finger in a brace for a while because it actually did break this part of the phalange when I did that. It was a pretty bad little accident. And as you can see, I did get up some of that cuticle. I'll probably just go and clip that off. Yeah, I'll just clip that off. Otherwise, I might just end up making more of a mess with it. I don't want to burn my cuticles with the drill. Alright. I'm going to turn this guy off. Now, if you are using any sort of cuticle clippers, be careful. You can really nip yourself if you're not careful. And that not only hurts, but, you know, then you're bleeding and you have to wait for the blood to stop, the bleeding to stop before you continue with your nails, and yeah, it's a big hassle. I don't think I have as much feeling on my fingers as I used to have because I have really hit them pretty good with cuticle nippers or cuticle scissors, and I do use both. I honestly have not been able to use my e-file for my cuticles. I don't know why, but I just can't get it off. Get the cuticle parts off. Alright. Make sure that all that dust is gone. Alright. So now I'm going to take my Gel-X Prep from Apres, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the tops of all of these guys as well as the insides. And yes, alcohol does do this, but it does honestly come off, so I don't worry about that too much. But because I'm going to do Frenchies, I want more of a clear kind of etching versus buffing them out. So I'm going to chemically etch them. And this works very well. And this way you don't have to worry about taking too much off or anything like that. And of course I'm going to do the insides because I always put something on the insides. I have noticed more people are doing that, finishing the insides of their nails. Definitely think that that's just cool. I like the way that looks. I did see somebody do a nice red. They did some Louis Vuitton nails and they did a really pretty red on the inside. So it kind of looked like the Louis Vuitton heels, which those are some pretty shoes. I don't think I could wear them though. I'd be too worried about messing them up. All right. So now that I have my Gel-X Prep on everything, you want to make sure that it's dry before you start doing anything with your nails. Otherwise, you are going to get that lifting, and you don't want the lifting. Anything you can do to avoid the lifting is what you need to do. So I do have my Gelish foundation and Top It Off, which is basically base coat, top coat. And this is what I'm going to be using today. I don't remember if it was like super shiny, so if it's not, I definitely have an option for that, and I'll show you that if I actually have to use that. I am going to, as always, start on the insides of my nails, and I realized last week I didn't tell you why I start with the insides, so I'll tell you now. I've noticed if I start on the insides of my nails and get that done first, not only do I not get any of that on the top and ruin whatever nail art I'm doing on the top, but it also doesn't peel off first. I did find that even etching the insides of my nails, because I do use my hands quite a bit, even to talk with, that the insides were peeling off. So that's why I do this. I do it for those two reasons. Now we are going to be using, I'm going to be using the Kaposi red glitter, and then of course Macart. And this is part of the Disco collection. And this is what I'm going to be putting on the insides. And I do like this Kaposi. It is, I'm not real sure if it's just holographic or if it is the reflective like the Disco Collection, but I mean, honestly, it's a really pretty color. So unfortunately, the red in the McCart Disco Collection isn't really as red as I want. It's kind of got a pink hue to it. I do challenge them to come up with a nice red in their reflective, like a nice deep red like this, a nice cherry Christmas red. And a little advice about doing the insides of your nails, as always, because I'm going to always tell you guys this. Anytime you're putting anything on the insides, make sure that you are doing a nice thin coat and you're not doing too many coats, because it does change your nail and the shape of the inside. So I try and make sure I don't have anything pooling anywhere. And then I am going to make sure that I did not get anything. Ooh, I missed a spot. Missed a couple spots. And if you do get any on your skin, make sure that you do clean that off. You don't want to cure it onto your skin. And then, of course, here's the green. And this is a lime color, it says. So it's not a nice deep green that I really wanted, but I don't have this nice sparkly color in a nice green like I really wanted. So that's why we're using this one. All right, and then cure that for 30 seconds. All right, so now that I've got all the color on, I'm going to take my Top It off. It has been a while since I used the gelish, so we'll see how clear this is. I'm not clear, but you know, shiny. Because I do want these nails to be super shiny. And then this is going to go in for a full minute. All right, so once all of that is done, we're going to go ahead and take our foundation or our base coat. And yeah, it's been a while since I used these. Go ahead and get all my nails nice and coated. Thing about base coats, guys, you really don't need to use a very thick layer, but you do definitely want to use a base coat, especially if you've got natural nails. The base coat will keep your nails from staining so much, but when you're using tips, using a base coat keeps the colors on longer. Less likely to have that peel. And I know I say that and I don't use a base coat on the inside, but the inside does not get near as much wear and tear as the outside does. Make sure that I get all of everything and that I'm cleaning it up. Oop, I did not get all that off. And then I'm going to cure that for a nice 60 seconds. Alright, so now that I've base coated everything, I am going to go in with my nude, my May Jam. And I am going to do one coat. And I really only want one coat because I don't want everything to be so thick. Fuzzies everywhere. Okay. Between the cat and the dogs. And there is a difference. You can see it. There's a little bit of a difference. I'm just trying to make everything uniform on my nail bed here. Get off that because I did make a mess. All right. And then we're going to cure that for 30 seconds. All right, so here's where the experimentation comes in because I am going to use some flat colors. Before I do that, I am going to go ahead and take the sticky off my nails because I'm going to attract a bunch of stuff if I don't. And I'd really rather just not. All right, so here I'm going to use my UR Sugar for my green, and then I'm going to use this Lavender Violets for my red. All right, so here's the experimentation because when I did this last time, I did use those guards. And although I really like the guards, I don't feel like I need them. So I'm going to do my best to make this as even as possible. And if it's not even, that's okay because it will be kind of covered up a little bit. Okay. And that's why I don't really care most of the time if I have a little bit of see-through stuff, because as you can see, it doesn't really matter if I put the flat color up top, which is why I did that. And then for the green, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. Alright, so then I'm going to cure that for another 30 seconds. Alright, so I got all of that done. I keep squishing my pad. Okay, and then I got my glitters back out because we're going to go over the top of this. Oops. I did not want that much. Let me just grab one of these guys. And I didn't get alcohol out, which is probably why I just did what I did. So for my alcohol, I do use Members Mark, which is a Sam's Club, 91%. Don't need much. And I'm going to clean that up. For everybody out there who suffers from things like I do, like the myoclonic jerks, that's what that is. And sometimes you just gotta laugh about it and move on. And then a little green. I did try and match my greens, but I wanted it a little darker than this lime color, which is why I used one that's just a little darker. All right, and we're going to go ahead and cure that for 30 seconds. All right, so now that I have that done, because I am using glitter, and sometimes you can feel the glitter, and I kind of want a smoother surface to work on, I am not going to use my Top It Off. What I am going to do is see if I can find it. I'm going to go in with my Mitzi matte top coat, just because I do want to smooth this out. And the Mitzi here is the matte that I actually first started working with the matte, the top, and the base. And this I found on Amazon. Now I haven't been able to find the matte coat on Amazon. They used to have a 3-pack, but now they only have the top and bottom coat. I don't know why. And I'm pretty sure you can go on the Mitzi website and get that particular package. But I do like to use a matte top coat to smooth things out. They do tend to be a thicker gel, so it kind of just takes your multi-level, especially since I'm going to have ridges where I put everything. Kind of smooths it out a little bit better than if you were to use just a regular top coat, or it doesn't take it off if you were to buff that out a little bit, and then you have a smoother surface to work on for your nail art that we're going to do next. So let me go ahead and cure this for 60 seconds. Alright, so now that I've got all of these done, all nice and matted, they're not as even as I would like, but they're a lot more even than they were. I am going to go in with some white. So I'll get some of that. Yep, use my Macart white. And then I did get out my mix up, and it's the nice almost unicorn. And then I'm also going to use some red. And some of my glitter red. And I see a problem with the white. I did not mix that up, and I probably should have. Pick this back up. Let's see if I can get a little more of this out. Sure didn't put very much down. All right. So we're going to turn the tips of my nails into hats. I'm going to take a dotting tool. This is just a regular dotting tool. And I'm going to go ahead and dot around the edges of everything, all the red. With the white. And I do not want this perfect. And then I'm going to grab and get the tip. So because I want this to look fluffy, I'm not really dotting so much as I am kind of splotching everything. And when I do my tips, I want to make sure that the whole tip is covered. Bubble in my fluff. That's not nice. All right. I am going to go ahead and cure this for 10 seconds because I really don't want to mess it up when I do what I'm going to do next. And it's actually very entirely possible that I will mess it up. So next, I am going to take my 000 Kolinsky, excuse me, goodness, and I'm going to grab some red. And this is the hard part, especially since I'm using my non-dominant hand. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, but I do want it to look nice. And I'm going to go and I'm going to make some points. Now because you kind of can see the green bleeding through, I might do 2 layers of the red. And grab the tip. All right. See, I almost messed that up. All right, so now I'm gonna put this in for 30 seconds. And because the white is a little thicker than it normally would be because I use the dotting tool, I'm glad it's gonna go in for a full 40 seconds because at least then I know that it's cured. But because I'm also putting a double layer of that red on, it's gonna get a little more cured anyway. So I'm not too worried about that. This is the hard part for me. Using my left hand to do any sort of line or artwork has always been difficult for me. And after I developed tremors and myoclonic jerks, it's been worse. So I just have to be patient, smile, and move on if I make a mistake. It turns out anyway, most of the time, just fine. So then I'm going to go ahead and put that in for another 30 seconds. All right, so I did that, and I did go ahead and put another matte top coat because I'm not finished yet. And then I did grab another one of my retired art brushes. This is a Royal and Langnickel. That's what it is. Langnickel. There we go. I can't read today. All right, so I'm gonna take some of my nice, pretty unicorn-esque, or however you want to feel it, this pretty pearlescent almost color, and I am going to go over all of the white. And try not to make a mess. I have this lovely bump right here, which is fine. All the white, Jackie, all the white. Kind of wanted the white to stand out against the glitter, which is why I chose this particular color instead of a glitter, and I know I do have like a white-ish glitter. It's really more clear than white, but that's okay. This is what I chose. I don't know what got... Okay. Make sure all the white is covered. And then I do want to cure that for 10 seconds. 30, 10, just 10. And then I'm going to go back in on my red with the red glitter. And with this, I might actually even be able to clean it up just a little bit. Since this is a little more pigmented than the white. And then cure this for 30 seconds. All right, so now that I have all the glitters on, and that now they're looking more like hats, I am going to lay down some snowflakes. So I have a few different options. I do have these guys. Now, honestly, I don't remember where I got these. I've had these for a very, very long time. I actually ended up getting these, I think sometime in 2000, when I was going to a holiday party, so that's kind of why I got these. These I just recently got. These came in a Christmas mystery kit that I got from Etsy, and I've been kind of excited to use them because they are so pretty. Look how gorgeous those are. Yeah. All right, I'm going to get my decal tweezers out, and I want some small ones, so these are cute. Now the one thing that about these, and yes, I did it, these are kind of brittle. I'm sure they're probably more brittle now than they were when I first got them, since they're kind of old. All right, so this guy, pop him there. And then we'll take this guy and put him here. I'm going to do something else with this guy. Kind of excited about that, so I'll show you. Use a different flake. Maybe. Ah! All right. And then on my thumb, I'm going to take, let's see, which one do I want? Why are they all different? Okay. Nope, that one's okay. I don't know why these always have to be so difficult. Just stickers, man. All right. Holy crap. Oh no. Good Lord. This is difficult. Why's it gotta be so hard? Okay. So I got those on, but I'm not done because I want more. All right, so I got those. So then I'm gonna do, wow, the same thing on the other side. only because I can't remember which one I used. I don't know which one I used. Oh, there she is. Don't run away this time, please. All right. I don't care what kind of tweezers you have. These are always so difficult. But I tell you what, if you've got some sharp tweezers, they do work better. Most of it is just a matter of getting under the stupid sticker. It's not always easy. All right. Got my stickers on. Thank God. All right. So now that I've done that, I am going to take my Model 1's builder gel, and this is my clear that is my absolute favorite. If I can open it. All right. And this brush that I got from Shein has been my favorite for the builder gel. I'm not really sure why. Go ahead and wet it down. And I'm just going to kind of encapsulate the whole nail. I say kind of because I'm not going to put a thick layer on. I don't really need a very thick layer. I've got quite a bit of gel polish on here, and 2 matte coats does make for a pretty good layer. Mostly I just want to make sure that I have the strength that I need, because this is a hard gel. And while I'm here, I might as well try and get myself a titch of a apex. If I can. If I can't, I'm not too worried about it. And yeah, I see that fuzzy. I'll get it when I'm not messing with the stickiest stuff in the world. Just ignore the cat. This is really stringy stuff, you guys. That's okay, because it's very, very clear, and that's what I want. Alright, so for this finger, I actually did end up getting something from Shein that I wanted to use. I've got the little twirly things. I'm so excited. Okay. Grab me some tweezers. I'm really honestly not sure. I think it goes this way. I'm going to put it on this way. Let me know, you guys, if I did it wrong. I'm going to kind of just pop this in here. Alright, now I'm going to cure for a full 2 minutes. You guys know I like to cure my builder gel for 2 minutes. Alright, so now that I've got all of my builder gel on and I'm looking, and I realized I probably should have waited to put these on until after I filed. I was just really trying to make sure that it was in there and it wasn't coming out, so I put it in with the builder gel. So I might have to, I don't know, we'll see. I think I might have to use some sort of cuticle bit or something instead of this guy. And I know I've got to have something in here that'll work. But for now, let's go ahead and turn this on. And I'm going to get in my cuticles. Make sure that these are flush. Now my secret to, not really a secret, my trick, I guess I should say, to avoiding the stickiness of the builder gel, because it's really sticky and you get a really nice sticky residue no matter how much you cure it. I'll wipe it off and then I put on a no wipe top coat above that. That way I don't have that sticky residue that will clog up your file. And really, I'm only concentrating on my cuticles. I just want to make sure that they're even and they're flush. And that will actually help with the apex a little bit. And you can see that I was able to get an apex. Avoid that one because that's not going to fit. Hindsight and all, right? I mean, I do trust my Macart rhinestone glue, but at the same time, I was really just wanting to get that into the hard builder gel so I didn't even have to worry about enough rhinestone glue. Please let me know if you like to see me continually file. I mean, if not, I can always keep this part where it's nice, short, and sweet. I probably will with some of them anyway, just so these videos aren't as long and tedious. I'm keeping it in today just because this is not going to take very long. I hope. I mean, I really wasn't thinking about my ring finger, but it really shouldn't take too long. Bah. Yeah, I almost just filed my little twirly piece. Oh, I don't want to do that, just that. Alright. I'm going to try this guy. Alright, let's see if this is going to work. It's twirling with the vibration. That's kind of funny. This is why I could never do anybody else's nails, folks. I have so many people ask me, and I continually have to say, no, I would mess your nails up something serious. I can't get the angles I need, and honestly, sitting here doing my nails has always been very cathartic for me. And I think doing somebody else's nails would stress me the snot out. So, and I don't have a license. And I was told in the great state of Colorado, you have to have a license to touch another person's fingers. You could get sued for that. So I just don't mess with it. I am not a professional. Strictly a DIYer. Otherwise, I probably would have thought about this twirly piece. All right. Put this guy back. At least that worked. All right. That there for now. Now, honestly, I was thinking maybe I would have, and I do kind of need to file a little bit. Just to sharpen up my edges. But I don't really think that I need to actually file everything. I think I'm just gonna buff it and go because everything is pretty even, flat and pretty. Except for the bumpy parts with the white, but that's okay. That just adds a little bit of texture that makes it continually look fluffy. So I'm really not upset about that at all. All right, and then I'm just going to take my buffer. Buff it out. Make sure that I'm getting in the cuticles too, because I don't want to show any scratches from my e-file, and I don't think I did that on this guy. Just fix that up real quick. Now, I told you guys before, when I am buffing, I am looking for the shiny areas. That means that, like this right here, that means that that did not get buffed or filed. This is going to be easy. That's all right. It's working out, so I'm not too upset at it. I really just, like I said, wanted to make sure that this piece is not going to stay in, because although it is pretty light, when I put the next piece on, it's not going to be light anymore. So, yeah. And I told you guys I do keep a towel in my lap so that I can wipe the nails off and see what I'm looking at. Every once in a while I forget the towel and I end up taking my pants off thinking I'm a messy wench. I'm not dusty. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix something. Alright. I found the problem, folks. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a dip right here where I completely missed my nail. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and cure this. Yay, buddy. Wow. This is my life, you guys. Alright, so I fixed that problem, and now it's a little bumpy. So I'm gonna go in with my file. I'm gonna smooth that out. Okay. I feel a little better now. It's one of the things that I like about gel. If you make a mistake, you can fix it pretty easily versus nail polish. You make a mistake and you usually end up having to take the whole dang thing off, which is frustrating. And I'll be honest with you. Oh, dang it, I got to get that. It's faster, and I don't have the patience to watch polish dry anymore. I just don't. Alright. Oh, come on. All right. Sorry guys, my OCD is kicking in something fierce right now. So now that I've got all of everything buffed, get up all of that, and then I am going to go in with a little bit of alcohol, make sure that I've got everything clean. All right. Dry. All right, so while this is drying, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this guy, my little light. I'm gonna grab some rhinestone glue. Make sure my tweezers are out. And I do have these guys. Now these guys came in a 12-pack kit that I got from eBay. And I'm gonna use the red and green crystals that are in there. I also do have these red crystals. I'm thinking about doing some cuticle crystals. And then this, I don't even remember where I got. I think this came in a pack with something. And then I'm going to use these little hollies that are in here. This thing I got from Shein. And then to put over my twirlies, I have these cute little snowflakes. And these came with some of these. Like, they came with some charms. And I did take all the charms out because I didn't want to have to scour for them every time. So I've got these guys, and what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to take just a little bit of rhinestone glue. Over the top of my twirly. Don't need much. And I'm gonna grab you. Ah, okay. I'm a little shaky. I want to make sure it's nice and even before I go ahead and set it. I like how this green glitter from Makartt kind of glows under the UV light. It is not glow in the dark though. I did get curious about that. No, doesn't glow in the dark. Haha. I'm gonna be playing with this. Alright, let me open this up. This could get ridiculous here shortly. It's all good though. Alright. Grab a dish. And just put that over to the side a little bit. Okay. And then I'm gonna get some wax. I was thinking about using my Makartt nail glue, this guy, to do that, but honestly I'm not real sure if that would be able to handle the heaviness that I knew was just going to be there. Alright, so now I'm going to finish this guy up. What I'm going to do, I think I want the precision. That's not working. I did get this stuff. It's Pin Pie. This I got from eBay. Okay, look at that. Put you to the side. Now, I want to put, see if this is going to be easier to squeeze than the Makartt. No. I can't squeeze it at all. All right, well, it was an idea. Unfortunately, it wasn't a good one. Why can't I get it back in? You know what? It's gonna wait. Ugh, I made a mess. Ugh, I don't like it. Stickiness. No stickiness. All right. Okay, I love it. Sorry, guys. I told you it could get ridiculous. I'll just go ahead and use this. All right. And then I'm going to grab these little ones, maybe. Hopefully without all the caviar beads. And these are going to go on the tips. Right here. Grab a bigger one for the tip. All right, go ahead and cure that a little bit. If I can take, nope, because I got it. Yep, I got it. All right, look at that. I was thinking about putting some green crystals, but honestly, I really don't want to. I think it looks cute just like that. All right, and then in the middle of this one, I'm just going to take a little green crystal. Pop that in there. Now I got these out because somewhere in my mess of stuff, I've got a green pack just like this, but I can't find it anywhere, which is very frustrating because I know I have it. All right, now this is where I'm going to pop a little bit of this down. And I'm going to go ahead and take one of those and a couple of these. Isn't that cute? Do I just want one of those? You know what? I think I want more than one. No, one is fine. They're kind of big. I did them with crystals in 2020, so And they were really tiny crystals, so it wasn't very big. And yeah, I'm gonna do some cuticle stones because otherwise, whoops, they're just not, it's just not as blingy as I like. Y'all know I love my bling. So let me go ahead and get oh my gosh, why won't you open? And these are, I know they're either plastic or they're acrylic. But that's okay. I prefer the glass anymore, just because they have a different kind of shine. About to drip everywhere. All right. Yeah, see, that just kind of pulls it together. Unless I absolutely cannot get it, and then it doesn't pull anything together. Keep getting my cuticles. And I don't want to. All right. And I'm just going to repeat that process with my shaky self today. It's the Christmas season. I always get really stressed out with the Christmas season, especially with all the shopping. I hate shopping, people. I have high anxiety when it comes to shopping. And we took the dogs last night to go see Santa. Now understand, I live with 7 Chihuahuas and a Min Pin. So we always take the dogs to see Santa. We always make them new outfits for it. And that was stressful because there's 3 puppies in the house right now, and the puppies did not cooperate. Not one little bit. So the stress was palpable. We're definitely going to have to work with them on picture taking and sitting still. Now 2 of the puppies are 11 months old, but they're still puppies. I'm just messing this one up, aren't I? Now with crystals, I do always try and make sure that I'm not on my cuticles, because then you'll get lifting and you'll get pokage. And alright, so I try and keep the crystals off my cuticles themselves. Try is the operative word. I've gotten so much better. When I was first learning to do this, I would have polish up all over my cuticles, and that was very difficult to then keep the gems and rhinestones off, because I didn't know where my cuticles were. But we have improved. All right. A little mess on this hand. I have room. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cure this for a full 60 seconds. All right, so I've got all my gems on. I love these. All right, I will be fiddling with that all week, I promise. So we are gonna go ahead and top it off with the gelish top coat. And as always, ooh, look how pretty. I'm going to avoid my gems, but I am going to go over these hollies. They're like that Fimo, so I noticed if you don't cover those, they'll like chip off. And I'm just going to come right to the edge of the stones, but not cover them. It's so pretty when it does that. And this one is where I'm gonna lay down some top coat, a good amount of it, because I'm gonna go ahead and grab a liner brush and I'm gonna get around the spots where I can't get my brush. Maybe. That's not working very well. Okay, I'm not using a liner brush because that's gonna take forever. I'm gonna take this guy. Now, some of my little brushes, you guys. What the? Everything is wet now. Huh. Okay. I did get from either Wish or eBay. This particular brush came in a set that I got from eBay. I do actually really like bidding on things, and there's every once in a while, you know, I'll go in and bid like 20 cents on a bunch of stuff up to like $20. And I do end up winning a lot of it, which is really nice. And then I end up with a lot of nail art and nail art utensils. So that's why I have so much stuff. And I will get nail art off Shein. Because I like Shein. And I still get my stuff from the cart, so, you know, I've got some stuff that's not as cheap. Now, the only gems that I can see are probably going to end up popping off of these guys. So what I will do is carry around some nail glue and some extra gems just in case, because I remember they fell off last time. Go ahead and... Alright, so, ooh, look how pretty. I'm going to go ahead and cure this for 60 seconds. Alright, so top coat's on, and yes, this is super shiny, so I don't even have to mess with it. I think I thought I might. Look at those. Aren't they so cute? I think I went up to myself with them. Let me know what you think below. I am going to use my cuticle oil, and I'm going to use this Nail Care Sweet Almond that I got off Amazon. And I'm going to use it because the almond smell is going to remind me of cookies. What I really want to find is a nice cocoa butter, because that would really smell like cookies. I have heard that the Macart soy is really nice, and every time I remember that I do need to get some, it's all out of stock. So let's go ahead and get these guys. And as always, I do go ahead and get all of my hands because they deserve it. And I abuse them so much with this process. Cuticle oil on. Alright. So that's the final product. What do you think, you guys? I like them. I think they're so cute. Let me know what you think down below. Please like, please subscribe. Otherwise, peace out, rock on, and you guys have a great day. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And, you know, hey, nail on, right? Bye. Alright, out in the snow, and yeah, it's snowing. And, yay! I love it. I have a fidget spinner on my finger. There they are. You guys have a great day.